there, it's Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com, here with round number 4 with black-white tokens in the standard daily. This amazing hand will lead off with Evolving Wilds to go find us our second white source and have all the lands we need to cast everything in our deck. So the Intangible Virtue, Lingering Souls, Midnight Haunting makes this a very powerful hand. This is exactly what you want to see with this deck. So we are on the draw here, and he leads off with an island, which probably means you white flash, and so we'll sack that Evolving Wilds, and now we're definitely know we're on you white flash here. So since he can't counter everything in this turn, the Intangible Virtue is the most important part of our deck, plus there was nothing else I guess at 2, so it's good that he couldn't counter that though. We're able to sneak out an Intangible Virtue, and we will not run anything to a counterspell, and if he decides to think twice or anything in a turn, we get a free Midnight Haunting in. But we will spend some mana in a turn. He can counter this one, but gives us a free run to cast Lingering Souls next turn, which is more important than the Midnight Haunting. But he doesn't counter that, so I'm thinking we have a free reign. So I'll throw out a Lingering Souls here. And I don't know. Oh, I didn't want to swing into a Restoration Angel in case he had a Restoration Angel. But in hindsight, might as well make him waste his mana. But he's able to get a lot of value out of that Snapcaster. And now I know he doesn't have Resto mana up now, so I'm free to swing in with everything next turn. So we'll do that. Put him down to 12, but he does have an Azorius Charm, which is awesome. It's a card for a fourth of a card, so still down to 14. And I decided just to, since he's tapped out again, run out the Bloodline Keeper, because Bloodline Keeper is a boss versus the control matchups. He's got to find an answer immediately for that Bloodline Keeper. So once again, I don't care about the Restoration Angel. We'll throw a Spirit at it. I knew he had it. So he'll bounce that, and he's able to get rid of two tokens here. But then again, I got free reign to either cast a Lingering Souls and flash it back, or I just decide, let's just get rid of that Restoration Angel. Can't more than haunt it. He can't do anything with that resto now. He can't chump block everything, so there's one resto down. The resto probably would have been a nightmare with that Runechanter's Pike on it too. So there is. This was actually a lag click. I was on my spare computer. I was rendering a video on this one, so I hopped on my other computer, and it is so laggy. I tried to click this vampire here and somehow click this one here, and luckily he did not have a Restoration Angel. That would have been awful for me. But it does set me back a vampire token. Yeah. But I know he doesn't have a resto here, so we just run out of Lingering Souls flashback. And he Sphinxes here. And I could have Midnight there without him being able to respond to it. In hindsight, that's probably the best move too. But we'll Midnight here, make him spend some mana if he has it or not. But now we have lethal on board here, except again if he has a Restoration Angel. Nothing in the graveyard for Snapcaster to really flash back. But if he's got another Azorius Charm, he can do some decent damage here. So he does have an Azorius Charm and a Restoration Angel and enough mana to bounce it back. So we're going to lose 3 Spirit tokens here. But we're still in very good shape because he's down to 5 and he's tapped out. So I do decide just to sever that rather than run straight into a Supreme Verdict. I don't know if they play Supreme Verdict's main board or not. Some do. So again, we'll attack with everything. And he's able to Azorius Charm. Restoration Angel, Azorius Charm. So this is getting a bit frustrating. Deck is it's a pretty resilient deck, this UW Flash. When you think you have him, a lot of times you realize that you don't. But this will give us free reign next turn to cast what we need to cast, and yeah. Or this turn, yeah, so to cast, and I know he probably doesn't have Supreme Verdict, otherwise he probably wouldn't have done that. So I'm able to cast everything here. Maybe I should have kept Lingering Souls in the graveyard, but Now again he's dead on board unless he can find yet another answer. And he doesn't cast anything in his turn. So we'll just get in there. Another misclick here. That's how laggy that computer is. You're going boom, 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 and somehow it doesn't click on the human. Frustrating. Anyway, he doesn't find an answer for that Sphinx's revelation. There's nothing really he could have done anyway. Too many dudes. So we'll go on to the second match. And risky hand, but I think it's a keep because, like I said, Intangible Virtue is such a boss card in this deck. So I do like to see that Gather a Townsfolk. If nothing else, we've got some action. But he hits with his Augur Bolus. But we are able to cast that Intangible Virtue. No black source. So I don't want to run the Lingering Souls into a Dissipate, so we'll just cast the Gather the Townsfolk. And once again, I will run these guys into a Restoration Angel. That way I'll have free reign to cast the Lingering Souls. But he decides not to do that and waits till end of turn, which is smart. There's no rush to kill these human tokens. So still stuck on no black here. Stuck on 3 lands. So I decided just to run a Lingering Souls out. Probably not the best decision because it does get dissipated. I guess versus a lot of times for Light Flash, you just want to just keep drawing. Make him not use their mana, make him fill up your hand while kind of evening out your hand versus their hand, but them not casting a gazillion stuff and be able to draw Think Twice's and Sphinx's Revelation. But we're in really bad shape here because we've missed a bunch of land drops. We do hit an Evolving Wilds here, but since it comes into play tap, that's pretty bad for us. Lingering Souls doesn't get countered. I don't know why. I don't understand the Detention Sphering. We'll back up here. I don't understand the Detention Sphering, the Gathered the Townsfolk. If you would have taken that Intangible Virtue, there's no way I could have come back from this game. But maybe he thinks I have an O-Ring or something and get those back and wants to get maximum value out of this Detention Sphere. I don't know what his thinking is. But card advantage is his like crazy. I can't believe this has actually gone on as long as it has, because just the amount of lands and cards he has compared to me, this game should be over already. Do hit another Evolving Wilds, which keeps us in this game. We'll throw out another Blood Artist. And the Restoration Angel is playing pretty good defense here, and he hits another Sphinx's Revelation, fills up his hand again, and he's able to get rid of the cards he doesn't want. And that's a great card against control, but it's too little too late. If I cast it, it will get countered. So I decided just to swing in with the Spirit tokens, and he doesn't block here. Yeah, able to get free 6 damage in. And he's able to cast the Snapcaster and another Sphinx's Revelation to refill his hand again. And this game's all but over. But I decided to play it out. Who knows what could happen. Again, Blood Artists probably aren't... I still would say Intangible Virtue is the better pick here. But he takes the Blood Artists. And I know he's got to have some counter spells, but Desperation Time. So, yeah, pretty much I'm dead in the water here. And I'll just continue to swing with these dudes. And I don't understand this block here. I don't know why he decides to just trade Restoration Angels for Spirit tokens. If anything's going to get me back in the game, it's getting rid of those Restoration Angels. But with 7 cards in hand, you know he's probably got a gazillion counter spells, some more Snapcasters. Still not looking good, so I just decide that I'm never getting another creature out. Might as well kill that Snapcaster. And I try to run out an Underworld Connections, and it does hit. And so I think maybe he doesn't have a counter if he didn't want to counter that Underworld Connections, but yeah, he obviously does with 7 cards in his hand. Even worse, a Restoration Angel. Oh, and I see it. That Cyclonic Rift, I see that, and it's pretty much game. I mean, I don't know if he didn't notice he had a Cyclonic Rift already in his graveyard. He could have won this a long time ago by snapcasting a Cyclonic Rift and clearing all my tokens and Potential Virtues back to my hand. But I don't understand his play here. But he does end up easily winning this game. Because I am not able to cast anything into his gazillion counter spells. So we'll go down to 5. Yep, nothing here that we can do. And we are dead next turn. So that's game number 2. We kind of got stuck on those 3 lands without a black source. That was the big decider in this game. If we could have got that Underworld connection stuck a lot sooner, that could have been the difference. So we'll go on to game number 3, and this isn't a very good game because he gets stuck on 2 lands. This draw I do decide to keep a bit risky, but with 2 Underworld connections, those are exactly what you want to see versus control. The ability to refill our hand is key to stay card for card with him. So Blood Arts comes out, and Underworld Connections comes out, and he misses his drop here, his land drop here. And we're able to throw Sorin out, because I think if he would have had a negate, he would have negated this. So we're in very good shape now with Sorin. There's not really anything he can do. Just by missing that drop, he's pretty much dead. And he misses this drop as well. I guess Detention Sphere could have got him back into this game. But Underworld Connections is going to be able to refill my hand. So we'll Underworld Connections another one and draw these lands here. And once again, he misses another land drop. So it's pretty much over here. So we'll go ahead, fill up our hand again. Drawing into a lot of lands here. But we are definitely in commanding position, and he just decides to scoop. Sorin on 6 is probably too much for him to handle, and he doesn't have a land. He could have Thought Scour to try to... Oh, did he Thought Scour? Or no, those are just discards. Yeah, but there's no way he's coming back from this monstrosity of Underworld Connections, Sorin, and the amount of creatures that I have. So anyway, not a very good video here showing this matchup. I think the game 1 was pretty good about how it goes, but game 2 and game 3 basically came down to who got land screwed and who didn't. Anyway, this is Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.